if you want to accomplish anything in your life, chances are someone's already done it, and they've probably talked about it. They maybe wrote a book about it. They've done a podcast about it. So I'm a firm believer, cheat, copy, steal, whatever you have to do when it comes to achieving your goals. What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. So today's video I'm going to be covering things that you need to look out for when it comes to setting your goals, because I've heard a lot of people that are excited about this new year, new me mindset, and I am all for that. I am a huge believer that you should have goals in all areas of your life. Problem is everybody's talking about basically how to set your goals, but no one's talking about what's going to happen and what you're going to face as soon as you start pursuing these goals. So today's video, that's what I'm gonna be breaking down to you. It's 2023, the ball just dropped. You're excited that you got 365 days to change your life, whether you weren't happy with how your year ended, whether you watched a motivational video, whether you read a new book, whether you decided you hit a certain age that you decided this is the year I'm gonna take control of my life and accomplish all my goals, and you're pumped. So now you're like, I wanna set some goals. Let me go sit down, get a pad of paper and write them out, because I know you have to write down your goals. Everybody says there is power in writing down goals, and there is. But my first thing, before you even start to write down your goals, and this is my first tip I'm gonna give you, you have to be in the right state of mind. Now there's 3 states of mind that you could be in when it comes to setting goals. The first state of mind is gonna be the negative state of mind, which if you are in this state of mind, you may not even set, because you are in such a negative mindset, whether you're caught up in a doom loop, you are listening to your negative self-talk, but you won't even actually dream or start visualizing your goals. You'll just have the mindset of, I can't accomplish anything, it's gonna be the same year, same results, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So you won't even be able to actually wish as if you were, and start writing and planning out your goals. So if you're in the negative state of mind, chances are you will think you're gonna have the exact same goal or same year as you did last year. The second state of mind that you might be in, this is called the positive state, or I call it the fake state of mind. And I'll tell you why. This state of mind, you may have watched a motivational video, you may have read a book, you may have watched David Goggins, you may have watched one of my videos, you may be excited and ready to take on the year. So you start setting out goals. Now you're gonna set out these goals in a very comfortable environment. Okay. Now, when you're in a comfortable environment, you're going to have a certain threshold of goals that you're setting. Okay. So you'll say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And you think these are the goals that you are truly capable of achieving. But what they are, they're really not. They're your fake state. But you're comfortable. You're sitting at home. You're not in an uncomfortable situation. So your threshold of your state of mind is capped. So you'll set goals that fit that cap. And you think they're truly what you want to accomplish, but they're not. It's not until you're in the actual third state of mind, which I call this the true state of mind, or your real state of mind. Now the problem is the average person will never get in this state of mind, because in order to get in this state of mind, you got to be in an uncomfortable situation. By putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation and overcoming that obstacle or situation, you're gonna raise your endorphins. You're gonna reach a whole nother state of mind where you are super positive, jacked, pumped up, ready to go, and you feel like you could take on anything that presents itself. In that state of mind, you're gonna set goals that if you're in the other 2 states of mind, you would never even think were possible. And the other 2 are fake. The other 2 are not realistic. This is realistic. So if you are in that state of mind, for instance, I challenge you, and I felt it the other day when I went for a run. I was going for a run, the weather sucked, it was raining, it was cold, a certain song came on, I hit a certain tempo, I hit a certain rhythm, and I started feeling really good, and I started setting all these goals. And the reason why I say this is my true state of mind, because I already set goals prior to this run. I set goals for 2023, and I said, I think this is what I want to accomplish, whether it was in relationship, whether school related, my YouTube channel, whatever it was. I set certain goals that I was feeling good about, and I was feeling pumped. As soon as I got past that threshold and that uncomfortable situation on that run, my mindset shifted into a whole other realm that I was like, I could accomplish this, I could accomplish this, and I started shooting higher in my goals. And I was feeling good, and I was feeling a certain way that I did not feel when I set them in the fake state of mind. Definitely won't feel it in the negative state, but I didn't feel it in the fake state of mind. So I challenge you to do something uncomfortable, something that's gonna raise your endorphins, and as soon as you feel that, that's when you're gonna set realistic goals of what you really want and what you really think you can achieve in 2023. If you set goals in the other 2 states, They're not realistic. They're not the real goals that you want to accomplish. They're the ones you think you can accomplish. Or if you're in the negative state, you're not even setting goals. So first thing you got to be aware of when it comes to setting your goals is make sure you are in the right state of mind. Because if you're not, 2023 is going to be a bust. Okay, so now you are in the right state of mind. You sit down, you get your pad of paper, and you are pumped, ready to write. And when I used to speak at schools, I would always do this challenge with my students. I would have them write down their goals of what they want to accomplish. So I'd give them a scenario where basically I was a genie and I was going to grant them wishes that they could accomplish whatever they want to accomplish in 2023. They don't have to think. I don't want them to think. I just want them to write. I want them to dream. I want them to visualize. I want them to have fun with it. So I challenge them. I say, hey, I'm going to give you 1 minute. I want to see how much things you can write down. Remember, whatever you write down, you're going to accomplish. You just got to write it down. And I build it up and I get them super pumped. And I say, I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Okay? And in that minute, just write as many as you can. I say, is everybody ready? And I count down, 3, 2, 1, go. And it never fails, and I'm sure you felt this when it came to writing your goals. Kids are excited, they're like waiting to write down, and they're pumped. They get their pen, they get their paper, and as soon as I say go, they go to write, and before that pen hits the paper, they stop and they all look up. And now when they're doing this, I already know what they're doing, and I already know who they're listening to. I told them they were going to accomplish anything they wanted. But as soon as it actually comes to putting it on paper, there's a little voice that will come in your head. And I feel like it's usually talking to you from the right because everybody always looks up to the right. And it says, say for instance, I said, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. Or say I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year. Because I just told you could accomplish whatever you want. They get super excited, they go to write it, and as soon as they write it, before they write it, that voice comes in inside their head and says, I don't know if you could actually lose 100 pounds, Bryce. I don't know if you can make 6 figures this year. I don't know if you could find a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever you were looking for. Whatever your goal is, you get super excited, but before you write it, that voice comes inside your head and makes you question it, makes you doubt if you even truly want that goal. And I see it with all my students every time I did that challenge with them. It was very hard for them to think of 10 things. Mind you, I told them they were going to get it. Whatever they wrote down, it was going to happen. But me saying that, I can't beat that voice that comes inside your head. So the second thing you need to be aware of is your BS. And when I say BS, I've done a video on this, I'm referring to your belief system. Because that voice that came in, that is your belief system. The reason you say, I can't do that, I can't lose certain weight, I can't start a YouTube channel, I can't start a Twitch, I can't start my podcast, I can't start doing this, because there's a certain belief that you have about yourself that is preventing you from actually believing that you can achieve that goal. Now you're probably wondering, that's great, Bryce, but how do I get rid of it? Easiest way to break down your belief is you have to question it. You have to question how valid that belief is. Because for instance, if I say, I'm gonna take the example of me saying I wanna get good grades, because I did the same thing when I was in college. I said, I wanna get a 4.0. That voice came inside and said, you never gotten a 4.0. And he was right, I've never gotten that 4.0. But then you got to ask again, well, why can't I get a 4.0? That voice is going to give you an answer. It's going to say, because you're stupid, okay? It's going to, and however ingrained your BS is, the more severe that voice is. And I'm going to be kind of crazy because some of these voices are ridiculous. So the voice was like, you're stupid, Bryce, you can't get that. Well, why do you think I'm stupid? Because and then the voice will come back extreme. It's going to keep giving you answers. If you ask questions, the voice is going to answer. So I said, why do you think I'm stupid? Well, because you always get bad grades. Have I always gotten bad grades? The more you question it, the more you can break it down. Have a conversation with this stupid BS that you have. I said, have I always gotten bad grades? And the voice answered, no, you haven't always gotten bad grades. Okay, so when did I get good grades? Guys, you may have to go back super far to when you were a young buck and prove that I was fit, I was in shape, I was healthy, I was positive, I was whatever it was. At one point in your life, there was probably a glimpse of that person you wanted to be. And it may be back in the day when you were in like kindergarten. I had to go back pretty far to the point where I was like, well, in 5th grade, I did really well on spelling tests. Okay, so I'm not stupid. You can't say you're stupid. You can't put something permanent on you, a permanent label on you, if at one point in your life you were what you wanted to be. You can't say you're a fat person if at one point in your life you were a healthy, athletic, fit person. You can't say you have no confidence if at one point in your life when you were the youngest kid or the smallest kid on the playground and it didn't care because you were the fastest or the most athletic or whatever it is. You have certain beliefs that can counter the BS that you have, that negative BS, but you got to dig deep and you got to ask yourself a lot of questions. So tip number 2, when it comes to setting your goals, even if you're in the positive state of mind, there might be a certain belief or BS that is going to hold you back from actually writing it. The easiest way that I've found to combat this is just question it. Ask questions like, well, if that person did it, why can't I do it? How could I do it? What did they do that I don't have? You have to have conversations with it. Don't just buy it. Don't just buy into it, whatever that voice says. No, you can't do it. You've never done it. People in your family haven't done it. So you're never going to do it. And then just settle at that. Ask a question. Go to bat. Go to war for your own belief, your own goal. Your future may depend on it. So tip number 2, question your BS. All right, so you're in the positive state of mind. You question your BS. You're feeling good. And now you're ready to take on the goals that you have written down, your realistic goals. The next thing that you are gonna encounter that stops so many people from even attempting or pursuing their goals is what I refer to as paralysis by analysis. I see it happen all the time, whether it's in goals that are, social media related or goals that are fitness related. Everyone suffers from paralysis by analysis. And I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, you wanna lose weight, okay? So you start, you're all excited, you got past the first 2 steps, you set your goals, you question your BS, and you're ready to go. Well, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta figure out what gym you're gonna go to, right? So then you say, I gotta start shopping around and seeing what gym I'm gonna go to. So you go around, you check out different gyms, you find a gym you like, and then you start saying, okay, well maybe I'll go to this gym because it's closer to my house, whatever. You settle on a gym. Then it comes to actually pulling the trigger and going to the gym. Well, I gotta get gym shoes, I gotta get gym clothes, I gotta make sure that I have the right gear and everything before I actually go to the gym. And you start analyzing everything. And you're not actually pulling the trigger. I'll give you another example. And I suffered from this when I wanted to start my YouTube channel. I would see everybody else's YouTube channel and say, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. I got to get started. Well, I can't get started because I got to get the camera. Well, once I get the camera, I got to have the perfect sound mic. Once I get the perfect sound mic, then I got to get the computer. Well, once I get the computer, then I got to get the editing software. Once I have the editing software, then I got to create my YouTube channel. Then I got to create a thumbnail. Then I got to do this. And I'm literally creating all these avenues and obstacles for myself because I'm analyzing everything, trying to create the perfect situation that I never actually pulled the trigger. And the reason why I'm trying to create the perfect situation is I'm spending time on doing these things and looking for the opportunity, and I think I'm actually working and preparing myself, but what my subconscious mind is really doing is preventing me from getting in an uncomfortable situation. Because as soon as I pull the trigger and hit play, I'm on the camera. I have to do something. But if you can sit back and justify that I don't have my streaming software, or I don't have my capture card, or I don't have my camera, or I don't have this, and I've done it, guys. If you're watching this video, I've done it. I've done it with multiple things. When it came to starting my Twitch channel, I did the same thing. When it came to starting my YouTube channel, I did the same thing. When it came to going back to school, I did the same thing. Well, what college do I want to go to? Well, do I want to be online? And you think you're doing busy work and doing everything necessary to get you closer to your goal, but what you're really doing, what your subconscious is doing, is pushing you away from your goal so that you're in your comfort zone. Because if you're gonna do something you've never done before, you're gonna get very uncomfortable. Your mind, your body, your soul, whatever, its job is to pull you back into your comfort zone. So it's gonna throw these things in front of you, making you think, I'm doing everything I need to, I'm just prepping. Once it's actually perfect, then I'm gonna be good to go. And I guarantee, because I've done this before, buy all the stuff, you get all the equipment, and you don't pull the trigger. And then you start justifying, well, I didn't really want it, or it wasn't really the best thing for me, or something came up, and your mind ran out of different things and obstacles to throw in front of you to keep you in your comfort zone. So now your mind's just settling on, it's really not, and you're gonna justify why your goal wasn't really there. Paralysis by analysis will kill more dreams in 2023 than anything else. So you have to become aware of what you're doing and ask yourself, is the camera really important? The type of camera I have, is the mic super important? Or is it the content and what I'm trying to get out? What is more important? Analyze that, again, ask some questions. And then the hardest part about this one is what it really comes down to is just pull the trigger. You have to pull the trigger on whatever it is If you want to film, if you want to stream, if you want to do a podcast, if you want to go back to school, just find a college, sign up, the first one you see, and get yourself in the classroom. Hit record on Twitch, hit record on YouTube, hit record on the podcast, whatever you want to start. Just hit record. You don't even have to post it, but you just got to build the mind-muscle connection of pushing record and stop suffering from paralysis by analysis. That is tip number 3. All right, so you aren't analyzing anything. You're not paralyzed anymore. You're feeling good. You got your goals. You've got your belief system, and you're on your way. You already went on your first run. You already went to the gym. Your first spin class. You posted your first video. You did your first podcast. You're feeling good. You post it, and then this next one is what gets you. And this is what you usually see happen right around February. If the average person makes it past the first 3, the fourth one is what gets them. And the fourth one is comparison. Comparing yourself to someone who has what you want. Meaning, social media is a perfect place to get inspiration, motivation, see what people are doing, copy it, and try to get the same results that they have in their life. This is my only issue. If you don't know how to use comparison, it could kill your dreams. It could kill your goals. And what I mean by that, and I had this happen, for instance, when I wanted to stream on Twitch. I got all the stuff, I did all the steps, I got the gear, I got the cool setup in my room, I got the lights and everything looks really good, and I go to stream and I pull the trigger and I'm doing it for about a week or so. And the reason why, because most likely if you have a goal, someone probably inspired you to achieve that goal. Whether it's a certain look, oh, this person looks the way I want to look, I'm gonna try and look like him, or this person does what I want to do, whether it's a YouTube, podcast, Twitch, whatever, I'm gonna try and do what they did. This person travels, this person works, so you basically have someone that you're trying to, that motivates you and inspires you, and I think that's a huge way to start your goals, but the problem is it could cripple you in some ways if you aren't aware of it. Meaning, when I started a Twitch channel, I had all that, I started posting, I started streaming. The problem is I follow big time streamers. One of my favorite streamers to watch is Nick Merckx. I love his content, I love his character, I love his setup, I like what he stands for. I just connected. Mind you, he's a very, very successful streamer. Every time he streams, he gets about 30,000 viewers, okay? And then his YouTube was blowing up and he's getting sponsors and I'm watching his stream and people are donating and subscribing and he's going off. That was not healthy for me when I would turn off my stream after I streamed for 5 hours. I'd have maybe 3 people join the chat, one of them being me. I'd have no chats, I'd have no subscriptions, I'd have no sponsors, and then I'd go and see him. And if you're not in a healthy state of mind, like I wasn't, like the average person, you're gonna do a comparison. And that comparison is gonna kill your goals because you're saying, I don't have what they have, I'm never gonna have what they have. Because I'm doing everything they do, I don't have their results. How you overcome comparison. First thing you got to do your research. How long has that person been doing it? And what did their results look like when they were in your stage? Meaning, if you want to lose weight and you want to look a certain way and you're looking at someone who has 4% body fat, ask yourself and see if you could find it. Most likely you could find it because everybody's always telling their stories. See how long they've been working out. See when they started. See what they looked like when they started. And see what they looked like a year after they started. Chances are they're not superhuman, which means if you're consistent for an entire year, you're not gonna look how they look because they may have been doing it for 16 years. So you're comparing your progress to someone else's results when it's not realistic. If you're gonna do the comparing game, the only thing you should compare is your process and their process in the very beginning. What I mean by that, I was comparing my progress of, oh, I went online, I streamed for 4 hours, and I'm comparing my progress to his current progress. He's been streaming for 16 years. I've been streaming maybe for 16 days. His progress is he has 30,000 viewers. My progress is I have none. So I was comparing progress to progress. If you want to cheat, and if you are going to compare, I would compare your process to their process. If you want to lose weight, then why don't you compare what that person's doing? What's their process look like? Well, they wake up at this time, they eat this type of meals, they go to the gym this many times a week, they drink this much amount of water. I'm not looking at the progress, I'm not looking at the results. I'm gonna cheat. I'm a firm believer. If someone's if you want to accomplish anything in your life, chances are someone's already done it, and they've probably talked about it. They maybe wrote a book about it. They've done a podcast about it. So I'm a firm believer, cheat, copy, steal, whatever you have to do when it comes to achieving your goals. If someone's already done it, then just copy their process and do the same process. When I first started working out, I weighed 130 pounds. I was one of the smallest guys at 24 Hour Fitness in Victorville, the one I went at. I would see people that have been working out for 10 years, super fit, and I cheated. I watch them, I say, okay, this guy's doing this exercise for arms, so I'm gonna do the same exercise, and I copied the process, and I compared my process to their process. How many days a week are you working out? 5 days a week. Okay, I'm doing 5. I work out 5 days a week, I'm doing the same amount of exercise, I'm doing this, and I'm comparing the process. So whatever your goal is, you need to compare your process to whoever you're looking for to inspiration, because I guarantee when you think of the life you want to achieve or the goal you want to achieve or the look that you want to look, in the back of your mind you have an image of what that looks like, and that image is probably someone you follow on Instagram. So one of the things I did when it came to YouTube is I follow a lot of YouTubers that are very successful and they have like over 500,000 subscribers. I pray and hope that one day I reach that amount of influence and I impact that many people. That would be awesome. It would line up with everything I'm trying to do as a teacher and everything. But what I did is I looked at like 5, I grabbed 5 of them. I grabbed 5 of the YouTubes that I really like. And I went back and I scrolled down all the way to their very first YouTube video. And I saw, now I didn't go look at the views, because the views, I could go back and watch it. I looked at when they posted it. And I looked at the thumbnail and the quality and the camera and the sound and all these things that were paralyzing me because I was analyzing them. And I started looking at those. And I realized that most of the YouTubers have been doing it for 7 years. That's a long time. If you want to look a certain way, most fitness people, if they look the way you want to look, they've been doing it for an X amount of time. It takes at least like 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. I definitely didn't stream for 10,000 hours, but everybody I followed who had the following and had what I wanted, they were considered experts in their field. So I made a commitment to myself. I realized all of them are posting a video at least once a week. At the time, I was not posting a video once a week. My process wasn't lining up with their process. I was comparing my process to their results, their progress, and it wasn't a fair comparison. So I started focusing on, I'm gonna compare my process to their process. I'm gonna post a video every single week. If I do that, that's the only thing I'm gonna compare. Hey, I'm posting a video every single week. At the rate I'm going, I'm on track that 7 years from now, I should have that following. And that's what you gotta look at when it comes to your own personal goals. Is my process on track that at the end of 2023, I'm gonna look, weigh, and feel a certain way? Is my process on track that at the end of 2023, I'm gonna be working here, making this amount of money, having this relationship, having this car, whatever it may be? Is my process going to get me there? Stop comparing your progress to someone else's progress and start comparing your process to their process. If you're doing their process and focusing on the process, the progress will play itself out. You don't even have to think about it. And that is tip number 4 in ensuring that you accomplish your 2023 goals. So just to recap of the 4, before we wrap this video up, first off, you have to make sure that you are in the right state of mind when it comes to setting your goals. Don't be in the negative state. Don't be in the fake state. You gotta be in the true state, your real state of mind when it comes to setting your goals. Second tip is you have to be aware of your BS, aka your belief system. As soon as you start getting excited and you set a goal, be aware of that voice that's gonna come into your mind, and you're gonna stop and you're gonna take a step back and you're gonna be like, I don't know if I really want it. That is your BS, and it's very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. All you gotta do is you gotta start questioning it. Question it enough, and you'll be able to find explanations and reasons to break down that negative BS and replace it with a positive belief system. Third step, and this is the one, like I said, that I feel like gets everybody. Stop analyzing everything about your goal and just pull the freaking trigger. Do not be like the average person and suffer from paralysis by analysis. Don't analyze anything. It's that simple, guys. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple. If you just pull the trigger, you are farther than like half the population, because when you pull the trigger and you go out there and you make mistakes and you learn and you fail, the other half of the population, the average person, is sitting there analyzing, trying to figure out the perfect way to do something. Don't analyze, just pull the trigger, make mistakes, go out there, fail, learn, adjust, and move forward. And the last one, again, stop comparing your process to someone else's progress. If you're gonna compare anything, compare their process to your process, and the progress will work itself out. But stop comparing yourself. Those are my 4 tips for you to help you accomplish all your goals for 2023. I hope you guys have a blessed 2023. I hope everything in 2023 that you want, all the goals that you set, I hope you're able to accomplish them and achieve them. If you want a true challenge, I challenge you to comment below some of your goals that you are trying to accomplish in 2023. And then a year from now, we'll come back, we'll look at the comment, and you'll be able to say, I wrote it down, this is what I said I was gonna do, I used the 4 tips, and I went out and made 2023 my best year. I challenge you to do that comment. Also, share this video if you know someone who's set 2023 and maybe you've already heard them mention one of these 4 areas that they're already struggling with. Hopefully it could help them accomplish their 2023 goals so that you could build that mastermind community of a bunch of people that you know that are always striving to get better. But that is it for the video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you liked the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, and you guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. Now go out there and make 2023 the best year of your life.